want to show you guys how I prune my raspberries to get massive harvests and healthy plants. Now if you want a ton of berries, it all starts with the pruning. I planted this berry patch 3 years ago. This pruning method is going to be for raspberries that fruit on the floricanes. Now these are ones that fruit the second year. First year a cane grows, second year you get fruit on it. So make sure you know what kind of raspberries you have before pruning them like this, because the other kind of raspberries are pruned a little different. We're going to start out with the Falco 8 pruners. I'll leave a link in the description. These are by far the best pruners you can get. We're going to go right in here to our raspberries, and last year's canes that fruited are going to go. Now this is how you know which ones they are. You see these guys? They're nice and purple and frosty. That means these are the canes that grew last year and are going to have fruit this year. After these produce fruit, they get all dry and white looking like this here. So first thing we're going to do is take those dry ones out to the ground. They are dead. They will not do anything else. You might want to wear some gloves for this because they're rather prickly. Dead canes are out. Now you can see this bush here. All these canes are coming out of the same spot. That is one plant. We have a lot of canes in here. We don't want that. I'm going to pick 3 or 4 good canes in here to leave. So real skinny cane like this guy, don't need that. This guy here, looking a little thin, I'll take it off right at the base. Now a word of caution, when you take off these living canes here, if you put these in your compost pile, they're likely going to form roots and make new plants. You can also use that to your advantage by just chopping this up into like 12-inch lengths. And all you got to do is just jam it right into the soil as deep as you can push in. And this will root and form a free plant. I'm going to pick 3 canes, cut them down to just above this wire here. And then I'm going to take the cheapest tie wraps I could find and tie wrap my cane to the wire and kind of spread them out a little bit. I'm going to tie up my canes before I make any cuts on the canes I don't want to keep, in case I damage one of the canes while tying it up. So let's pick some canes. This cane right here is nice and fat. It's got some strong, healthy buds on it. So I'm going to take this cane, I'm going to stand it up while getting stabbed a lot. I'm going to bring it up to my wire here. Even before I cut this thing, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put a tie wrap around it to hold it up. Since the plant's right here and this cane's favoring this way, I'm going to swing this cane over a little further this way. And then I'm just going to give her a chop right above a bud, a couple inches above the wire. And grab us another cane here. Looks good. I'm going to make this cane my middle cane, even with the center of my plant. And same thing, just going to give her a little snip right above. Here's where I'm going to break the rules a little bit, because you can see how vigorous these plants are. They're growing into each other. It's kind of a mess here. I already got 2 set. Even if I broke the rest of these, I'd be fine with just having 2. So I am going to clean up some of these that I'm not going to keep. Like this one here, I am not going to keep. Right here, I'm not going to keep. This larger one, I am going to keep. And what it did was, it actually rooted from the tip in my grass. So there's going to be a raspberry plant growing there. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to chop this a little shorter, just so I can work with it and get it through this mess here. Same thing with the tie wrap. I got these spread nice and even, the same distance apart. We're going to get a lot of side branching here. So having these a little further apart is going to give us some really good airflow. Come back, give her a snip, and she's looking real nice. There's the base of our plant. 3 canes coming up, tied up evenly spaced. These are about 4 foot high. So what we did here, leaving only 3 canes on the plant versus just letting this plant go nuts with all the canes it had on already, is we're going to focus our energy into these 3 canes. Now we're not going to get as many berries on there, but we're going to get bigger berries and healthier berries. Pound for pound, we're still going to have the same amount of weight in berries, especially since this is a fruiting year. We're trying to concentrate on berries and not foliage on here. These 2 plants are pretty close together, so I'm going to work both these plants together. I'm gonna come in here, same thing. Weaker canes down low, get them out. Dead canes, get them out. Just getting some of this stuff that's in my way out of here so I don't get stabbed. And what I'm noticing with this plant is the tip of the cane got broken off, so it started putting out a lot of side branches. Now that's okay. It was probably from deer coming through here. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with all those side branches as soon as I clear some of this junk out of here. Right away, you can take care of any dead side branches. She's looking pretty nude. You can see here, we only have 2 canes, so we're gonna use both these canes. But as I'm working my way up here, we do wanna keep some of these side branches, but we're gonna end up shortening these branches up. Now, this cane doesn't go high enough to tie it to the top wire, so I'm gonna be looking at these smaller canes as the ones I'm gonna tie up. I wanna go for the bigger, healthier canes, so something like this little guy, I'm just gonna go ahead and get that out. This lower one, I'm gonna get that one out. A little bit higher up, this guy's kind of thin. Let's get that one out. And then I'm gonna start with my back main cane here with the 3 branches on it. Same concept here. I'm just gonna pull this out and I'm gonna tie it up to this top wire. And I'm just gonna leave this one a little bit longer just for the fact that we are crossing here because my plants are planted a little close together. This is gonna be fine. These are all gonna bud out this way. This is gonna bud out and fill the back. Everyone's gonna get airflow and sunlight. Next cane, chopping it down to a manageable length. Gonna take her. This a little off to the side because my final cane would fit nice in the middle up here. But I noticed this cane's got a lot of blemishes on it. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. So we got a nice single cane here that forks out. My last cane here is kind of leaning out in the front over here. It doesn't give me a really nice way to tie it up, but what I do have is this second lower wire here in case I have any lower canes to work with. So I'm gonna just gently bring it over. Cane here looks like my healthiest cane, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of these 2 other ones right here. I'm gonna tie this cane on this lower wire. A little crisscross action going on with this one. It's not gonna be a huge deal because we're gonna branch out further this way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give her a chop right above that bud there. We're gonna fill in that gap. A lot of times it's just about looking at the plant and seeing where the plant wants to grow, trimming it, and trying to use that plant growth to your advantage to fill in any pockets you have. Let's do one more together. I'm gonna start out by getting all the dead guys out of here. These noticeably weaker canes will also be coming out right now. Got a lot of canes to work with this one. All right, so I know for sure I got this real nice beefy one over here that I wanna keep. So I am going to start with that one. I'm just gonna swing that one over, and this one's also got one of these shorter canes here. And I'm gonna tie this one off to the pipe here so we swing out a little this way. Center cane tied up real nice right here. Go ahead and give that one a snip. Got the 3rd branch on there. Looks like it'll just reach this top wire. So we're gonna tie it up. 2 more canes coming out here. Now this one here is just leaning on the wire, not really doing much. It's gonna tip that one off and just leave it. I'm not even gonna tie that one up. It's already sticking straight up by itself. I take this, tie this to the bottom wire that way, and I'll tie the other one over there. I got this lower wire here for a reason, so we can use it. Tip these back, focus all that energy down here, and there we go. Got these raspberries tied up real nice along here. Plenty of room for airflow. We're gonna get a lot of berries because all the energy is gonna be down low here. You can see it's a big change from where we started with a lot of these bushes here. If that seems like too much work, you can just plant these things and let them go nuts. They're gonna tip root everywhere. They're gonna send out suckers. You're gonna have raspberries all over the place. I just like this because it helps clean up this hedge a little bit. We focus the energy and we prevent disease. Now, one of the key points when you're doing this, you're gonna wanna look for a powdery orange substance on these raspberries, especially these black caps. They're really susceptible to rust. Now, if you find any rust, tear the whole plant out. That's how I prune and train my raspberries. I suggest you give this a shot. and thanks for watching.